Hi, parents and families. Welcome to Back to School Night 2020-2021. Obviously, things are a little bit different than they would be in other circumstances, namely that I would be seeing you guys in person and not virtually. My name is Jenna Freda. I teach your child for American literature. If your child does not have Jenna Freda or does not have American literature, then you're in the wrong video. So in this video, I'm going to briefly go over a few things about the class, a few things about myself, a few things about just general expectations. If there is anything that I do not cover in this video that you are still wondering about or questioning, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll go over all my contact info. I'm available by email all the time. So please feel free. Like, I know everybody says feel free, and then, they don't mean that, but I do mean it. So please reach out if you have any questions or concerns. So I am going to jump into a presentation very quickly. Actually, first I'm going to start by saying I've been working at Yale for almost 5 years. I really like it there. I feel like I found a family and a home. I really enjoy the students and my fellow staff and just the school community in general. It's a wonderful place, and I think we do a lot of really great things for our students. So that being said, I also have a master's degree in education from Wilmington University and a dual bachelor's degree in English and secondary education K through 12 from Rowan University, as well as a certification to teach students with disabilities. So that's why I'm here. And on that note, I'm going to present my screen. Hopefully I know what I'm doing and I don't hold everybody up by taking forever to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So this is my contact info here. My email is jfreda@yaleschoolnj.com. The phone number to reach me at work is 856-482-5252. That's the regular number for Yale School, in case you didn't know. If you ever need to call there, that's the number. And then my extension is 760, but that will get you to my voicemail only. If you ever need to speak to me imminently, like you need to tell me something immediately, ASAP, your best bet is to hang out on the line until a secretary answers and then have them connect you to me, as long as it's during working hours. And then my Google Voice number, which goes to my personal cell phone, is 856-376-0773. I use Google Voice as an application so that I can communicate with my parents and students when I am working remotely on Wednesdays. If you contact me on the Google Voice number, I won't see it until the end of the day if we're in school that day, because I don't check it until the students leave at like between 1 and 1:30. So those are all of my contact information, all the numbers, the contact numbers, the email. Your best bet to talk to me is probably your email address, my email address. I answer email all the time. I answer it on the weekends. I see it all day long while I'm teaching. So if you want to get in contact with me, that's your best bet. Next. Okay. Rules and expectations for your students. So these are some things that I've gone over with your students, and I'm just going to kind of go over with you as well. I'm going to read them off to you just so you know that these are the things that I expect from them. So rules and expectations for remote learning. Commenting and posting is turned off in the stream of Google Classroom. Any comments that your student leaves on their assignments will only be seen by teachers and staff and must be appropriate, respectful, and relevant. Your students should turn in their work on time. All work must be turned in by the end of the school day on the day that it's assigned, unless otherwise stated. Sometimes I assign things that will take a couple of days to do. In that case, obviously, they don't need to turn it in by the end of the day. I'll give them some way to let me know that they worked on it, either by like commenting something, or I'll just pop in and look at it, whatever. Obviously, we want the students to attend their Google Meet sessions. The schedule should be posted in their classroom information topic on their homeroom, and they should have their own individualized schedule, and you guys should also have a copy of their individualized schedule, so you should know where they are or where they need to be, and so should they. In Google Meet sessions, obviously, we need the students to be respectful, appropriate, and on topic. No foul language or non-school appropriate topics will be tolerated. The students should ask for help when they need it. Mr. Altieri and Miss Wynn, who are my TAs, and I are here to help them. They should stay on task and on topic during Google Meet sessions. They should show up on time to all Google Meet sessions. So classes have been cut down to 30 minutes to allot for enough time in the hybrid day. So that being said, when a student shows up 5-10 minutes late for class, it's really cutting into their instructional time, and it can be disruptive as well. If they miss the beginning of class, I'm generally going to ask them to pop in and watch the recording because they probably missed a good significant chunk of actual instruction. So don't be surprised if, I ask them to go back and watch the recording. When we're on the Google Meet sessions, they should stay muted during the lecture or presentation and only use the comments on Google Meet for relevant questions and comments. We want them to socialize with their peers, but we want them to do that during social meets. I'm generally a little bit more lax about socializing during the very beginning of class while we're waiting for everybody to show up. But then once the class starts, I expect them to mute. I expect them to be fully engaged, and want to learn, be there to learn. And then finally, I want the students to stay positive. I know that it's a really trying time for everybody right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of, stuff happening that we don't love generally just as humans, but I want them to stay positive. I want you to stay positive. I have full confidence that sooner than we all think, there will be some level of normalcy coming back into our lives. So I'm really hopeful for that, and hopefully you are too. Now, specific stuff for American literature. So that's my email again at the top and my extension. So homework, we're not having homework right now because, we're doing hybrid learning and one of the days is remote and all of that. So no homework, but when and if we do come back full time in person, homework will be assigned Mondays and Thursdays. There is a midterm and a final exam for this class. Your child should not worry about the midterm or the final. I spend a week or more reviewing for each of these things. I've never had a student who actually tried and studied and did what they needed to do not do well on my midterm or final. So I have full confidence in all of these kiddos that they can do it. Some topics covered in this class: figurative language, persuasive techniques, satire, mood, allegory, symbolism, tone, point of view, conflict, imagery, and regionalism. Your students just did an entire unit on figurative language prior to the last week when we were writing a paper. And then we also did a unit on genre and subgenre, kind of just to prepare them for reading complex literature. We're going to start our first actual story at the end of this week. So we're going to be doing creation myths. So that moves me on to potential stories and novels. We've got creation myths. We're reading the Iroquois one. It's called The World on a Turtle's Back. Super interesting. I like to go over how creation myths have kind of molded literature in America, and it kind of leads us into Poe and all of that good stuff. So we often do The Fall of the House of Usher, The Pit and the Pendulum, The Raven. That's my Poe unit. The Minister's Black Veil. I always do The Crucible, which the kids really like because it's drama and they get to choose parts and read aloud. The Yellow Wallpaper, and then I do some transcendentalist writings. And then if I get to it, we do Huck Finn and maybe The Great Gatsby, depending on how the year goes. We're not really using Parent Portal right now because we're using Google Meet. So if there's ever a time that you want to know what's going on with your student, you can just pop into their Google Classroom and see what they're working on, what to do, tests. I post a bunch of videos. I post all the recordings of all of our Meet sessions. So you can see exactly what's going on in class. I always announce tests 3 to 5 days in advance with a study guide. Quizzes are generally a little bit more lax. So I'll probably say on a Monday, hey, we're having a vocab quiz on Friday, just be aware. And then I'll probably review on Thursday, hey, you should probably study your vocab tonight because we're having a vocab quiz tomorrow. And then, it's a little quiz. I never do pop quizzes or anything like that. In terms of textbooks, my textbooks are massive. They're this big. So I'm not going to be sending home textbooks. I keep them as a class set. And if I ever need to use something out of them, I will make copies or I will scan them and have a digital version for you and for your student. But I'm not going to send home these massive textbooks for your kids when I don't often use them. I use novels. I use short stories. I sometimes pull from there, but I would be able to scan it and get you a copy of it. This is just a little graphic of some of the things that came up when people were surveyed about American literature. So obviously you see Finn, Huck Finn, Steinbeck, Twain, Sawyer, Mockingbird, Huckleberry, all kinds of words that would go along with American literature. That's pretty much all I have. I'm very, very excited to continue getting to know your students. they've been a really great bunch thus far, and I'm really proud of everything that they've accomplished, especially since things have been so crazy and ever changing and inconsistent with the hybrid model. And it will probably continue to be that way, but I'm very proud of everything that they've done and how resilient they've all been and how on top of their stuff they've all been. So I hope for that to continue. And, it's just been a real joy. And hopefully I didn't ramble too much in this video. But if anything comes up and you have any questions, you can always reach out. I'm available. And that's all I've got. So have a great rest of your night. And hopefully the rest of your videos are, quick and painless. Thanks for everything, guys.